The cold winds of the Arctic howled across the desolate cliffs. Our brave Puffin, having narrowly escaped the cunning fox in our last encounter, had finally found a moment of peace. But peace in the wild is a fragile, fleeting thing. Little did he know, danger was not gone. It was merely waiting, lurking in the ever-present shadows. The fox had not forgotten the sting of his earlier defeat. He was hungrier, more determined, and this time he was smarter. The night settled in, cloaking the landscape in a profound silence. It was almost too quiet. Exhausted from a long day of diving for fish, the Puffin tucked his beak snugly under his wing, surrendering to a much-needed rest. But from the deep darkness, two glowing eyes watched his every move. A familiar, predatory gaze fixed upon him. The fox had returned. Step by silent step, his paws making no sound on the frozen ground, the fox crept closer. He moved with the deadly grace of a seasoned hunter, a shadow against the snow. An ancient instinct, a shiver of primal fear, stirred the Puffin from his sleep. Something was terribly wrong. He opened his eyes, and his heart froze in his chest. There, just a few feet away, muscles coiled and ready to pounce, stood the fox. With a frantic, desperate flap of his wings, the Puffin launched himself into the air, a blur of black and white against the dark sky. But the fox was ready. He sprang upwards, a powerful leap, his sharp teeth snapping shut just inches from the Puffin's tail feathers. The chase was on again, but this time it was different. It was faster, fiercer, and far more dangerous. The stakes had been raised. The Puffin, with the wind screaming past him, darted towards the treacherous cliff edge. The icy air felt like 1,000 tiny needles against his feathers. The fox, relentless and showing no fear, followed close behind. His claws dug into the slippery, frozen ground, finding purchase where there should have been none. Every second, every heartbeat, the gap between hunter and prey grew smaller and smaller. The Puffin could feel the fox's hot breath on his wings. In a last-ditch effort, the Puffin banked sharply and dived straight down, plunging into the churning, freezing waves of the Arctic Ocean. He thought he was safe, that the frigid water would be his sanctuary. But the fox, driven by a desperate and furious hunger, was not so easily deterred. He scrambled down the jagged, icy rocks at the water's edge, his eyes scanning the waves, waiting with chilling patience for the Puffin to re-emerge. Hours crawled by. The unforgiving cold of the ocean began to seep into the Puffin's bones. He was tired, so incredibly tired, and the numbing chill was taking its toll. Finally, unable to bear the cold any longer, he surfaced, gasping for air and desperately searching for a place to rest his weary body. But the fox was still there, waiting. With a sudden, explosive burst of speed, the fox lunged, cutting off the Puffin's path to the shore. The bird was cornered. Behind him, the sheer, unclimbable cliffs. Below him, the deadly cold of the ocean. And in front of him, the predator, blocking his only escape. The Puffin's tiny heart hammered against his ribs like a drum. This time, there seemed to be no way out. Escape felt impossible. The fox slowly licked his lips, his eyes burning with the fire of triumphant hunger. Nowhere left to run. Little bird, he seemed to whisper on the wind. Will our Puffin find a way to outsmart the fox one more time? Can his courage overcome the hunter's relentless pursuit? Or is this truly the end of his brave fight for survival? The answer lies in the next part of this incredible story. So, make sure you stay tuned. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss part 3 of Puffin and the Fox. You won't want to miss what happens next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.